to Congress to help get the Juneteenth holiday approved as a federal holiday. And that's one of the things that we've been very proud of. When we have these kids present the play, we try to be authentic and honest. We allow the kids to present what they want to present based upon the history and the research that they've done. The city of Palmdale last year approached us and asked if we would present the play there in Palmdale. So last year we added the Playhouse to the Lancaster Performing Arts Center as a venue for the play. The play, in short, this year is going to be entitled Eclectic Take Two. It's going to be focusing on the musical and cultural contributions of minorities, and more specifically African Americans or Black Americans, depending on what term you feel comfortable with. African Americans' contribution through music to this country, which influenced and created cultural change. We will begin recruiting students in the next week or so by visiting all the comprehensive high schools. And this year we're reaching out to the alt sites as well to see if we can bring in students from there. We have the capacity to work with roughly 40 to 45 students. We will teach them how to do every aspect of putting on a production. This year we want to go bigger and we want to be stronger and we want more community involvement. So it is our hope that by having this discussion with the BSU that you guys will help market the event as well as bring in students to be a part of the event. We had a very special guest a couple of years ago for our play, which was quite touching. When we were locked down for COVID, we had our star and a few other of our performers catch COVID before we had an opportunity to record it. And Mr. Patterson and his son both joined and were able to perform a scene together for the play that year. I've always gotten nothing but great help and assistance from our African Americans throughout the district. And so the hope is that we continue to have that support. And again, the goal is to continue to build and grow the event. At this time, I'm willing to take any questions on the event and give more detail if you guys would like.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, let me just join on and then you can go ahead and ask the question and Mr. Holly will probably be able to answer. And I will, of course, kind of say amen to it. But what I'd really like to say to you all as a BSU, one of the things, and by the way, those of you who don't know me, if the Lord should allow me to live until April coming, I'll be 90 years old. So I've seen a lot of things. I've been through a lot of things. Born and raised on a plantation in Mississippi. And then as the later years came on, and I went overseas back, went through school, come out of an engineering school and worked at Edwards for 30 plus years and was able to pastor a church right here for 52 years. And my mission, my whole mission has been wrapped up looking and wanting to hand over. And when I got a hold to Mr. Holly, I knew I had the right person to turn this over to. And he and I both are interested in having you all as all of the cultures are involved from the different schools. But what we really want is the young people like you all to be able to represent and carry on our country. As you all know, right now, we're going through an election and there's some ugly stuff about voting and everything else. I won't get into all of that. But what I do hope is that you guys will represent and be those of you who are able to vote, do that. And at the same time, represent yourself well by whatever school you're in, whatever college you're in, do your work. Make sure you're ready to meet the world head on and carry on your part of it. And I guess I went off the line there for a second just to say that, but I am proud of what you all are doing, and particularly Mr. Holly and the high schools. So we are hoping that we can all work together for the common good of our country. And I'm ready to help, even at this age, with whatever I can do to make the difference it needs to be. God bless you. I'll just hang on and listen.
All right, I'll definitely was a very pleasure to participate with Holly. The very beautiful event to participate with my son. We did a Chuck Berry scene, and so it was kind of natural because I was Chuck Berry's father, and my son played the young Chuck Berry. And so definitely support Brother Nigel and Bishop Hearns and the city with this event. And so I definitely want to encourage all of the young people. Make no mistake about it, it's a lot of work, right? And it's a sacrifice, and you're gonna be spending a little bit of your break kind of memorizing lines and doing, but it's one of the most gratifying things that you can kind of do when you kind of look back and you have an artifact of something that you did in high school that you can show your kids and their kids and whatever the case may be. And so be willing to step out of your comfort zone and kind of perform, or it doesn't necessarily be performed. They're also looking for behind the scenes help and stage hands and anything that you can kind of do to honor the great man, Dr. Martin Luther King. We just came off this HBCU tour where we visited Morehouse. And so to be in the presence of the statue and walking this chapel, just feels his presence on campus is one of the most gratifying things that I can say that I've been a part of in this district. So again, let's come on out of the show. The city that Antelope Valley Union High School BSU leadership group and the students, we are here to show up and show out. Thank you very much.
Also, I just wanted to also, Nigel, sorry, Mr. Hawley, if you can make a comment about the city when they give that part about the nice little letter and the stuff about that, that would be great too. The acknowledgement from the city. Did you put that in? Did you talk about that too? Sorry.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully I'm not echoing. Someone said I was echoing earlier. So after the students have successfully completed and participated in the program, they do receive certificates from several different entities. One is the United States Congress, one from the California State Senate, as well as the California State Assembly Office, the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, as well as the city of Palmdale and the city of Lancaster. They are presented those certificates at a city council meeting in front of city council, just to acknowledge the sacrifice that they made. And to echo what Patterson said, it's not an easy task to participate in Justice Sunday. They have to work hard because we go from having nothing to having a full-on play and performance normally under 30 days, average about 25 days. So they do work hard. But the city comes in and they are recognized nationally for the effort and the service and for the Martin Luther King continuum. They also get reference letters from the mayor's office for when they apply for college. And they also can get an ambassadorship for the 400 Years of African American History Commission. But even more importantly, they learn how to work together as a team. They learn how to network. They learn how to set goals and how to execute those goals. We say mentoring matters, so we try to pour as much as we possibly can into them over that 25-day period.
Also, Mr. Holly, do they receive what is it, volunteer hours for this service?
Oh, great question. Yes, and they will receive volunteer hours for participating. And in most cases, they receive more than they need for high school to turn in hours for high school AVID and things of that nature. So they do receive volunteer hours that's approved through the city of Lancaster.
Thank you so much, Mr. Holly.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Holly.
Thank you, Jewel. Mrs. Godfrey. I don't want to, I want to make sure that we acknowledge that we do have our Justice Sunday alumni president online. I believe I mentioned it earlier. The students that have participated in this program tend to go on to some form of higher education. I believe where our success rate is floating right around 92% of the students who come through the Justice Sunday program go on to some form of higher education. Patterson mentioned that he was at Morehouse. And while he was there, he had an opportunity to see and spend some time with one of our alumni while he was there. We have students in colleges all across the country, and many of which come back to mentor the students who participate over the winter break. So if there's no questions for us, we'll go ahead and sign off and let you guys continue with your meeting. We'll send out to Mrs. Godfrey and Patterson the QR link code and the link to have students register. We also are looking for any adults who want to participate and help with us in chaperoning the students and mentoring the students as we go through the process. The date of the show will be January 15th with an encore presentation on January 20th. The 15th showing will be at the Lancaster Performing Arts Center, and the encore presentation will be at the Palmdale Playhouse.
I did have a question, Mr. Holly. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I think this is an extraordinary experience, and I can't wait for our students to be involved as everyone is able. I am curious. We have our Karamu celebration coming up in December, early December, and I'm wondering if we might be able to push out some promotional materials at that time to families, just with maybe the flyer, or just so that they can be in attendance as much as possible. We would definitely want to share, if it's okay, share the QR information as well as any contact information if you would like on the website, just to give it as much visibility, because I agree with everything you said. I think the students could definitely show up in large numbers and support each other, because this is a big undertaking.
So yeah, absolutely. You can share all the marketing information we get out to you. India and the team are working on flyers now so that we can get them out earlier this year. So I would say you can anticipate that information coming out within the next week or so. And we'll forward all that over to the BSU.
Wonderful. And we were also able to find the clip with Mr. Patterson and Jeffrey Patterson in their involvement in Justice Sunday for 2021. So I'm going to share that clip as well. And I hope that students, if you have any questions, that you please use this time to ask, to add them in the chat. So I'm going to mute and turn my camera off so you can see this clip.
The fire scared the color right off their skin.
Those are white folks, son. White.
So they were born without color?
Now, boy, you hush up now. We don't want any problem with those people over there.
Why? Is it true?
I said hush up now.
Hey, Pops.
Yes, son.
Why isn't there anyone that looks like us fighting the fire?
Well, son, the Jim Crow laws that enforce racial segregation in the South made it tough for blacks to get jobs. That's why you haven't seen whites before. Being a firefighter, police officer, teacher, doctor, lawyer were not a real option.
I thought the world was equal. Turns out it's not what I expected. Why does the world not like us?
Son, have a seat. You see, son, the world's a complicated place. And people make it more complicated by their irrational biases. This is why you only have blacks in your class. And this is also the reason why we can't use the same water fountains, use the same restrooms, eat at the same restaurants. There's a thing called separate but equal, but ain't nothing equal about this separation. See, the government found a loophole that made that legal because technically it did not violate the 14th Amendment. But fortunately, there's a Supreme Court case, Brown versus the Board of Education in 1954, that made separate but equal unconstitutional. But still, they are afraid of our power.
But isn't
All right, we will drop the link in the chat for the performance piece, so you can definitely go back and take a look. It is extremely powerful, as you can see. We do want to respect the time of our guest speakers, as well as the time of everyone on the call. If we could, seniors, you did have a special breakout schedule for today regarding your Common Black College application. The Black Common application is available to seniors to apply for this year. There are, I think, and advisors, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the students are able to apply for free for that Common app this year.
Yes, Mr. Patterson, if you could just give us a little bit of information on that, because the grant is paying for a specific number of students.
Absolutely, that's what I'm here at my fall festival, but I'll jump on real quick. The grant calls for at least students to apply to 5 different HBCU schools through the Black Common App. The Black Common App allows you to apply to up to 67 HBCU schools for the low price of $20, which the district and the grant will pay for. And so for those seniors who are on the call who are going to the HBCU showcase, or if they participated in the HBCU tour, there will be a couple of workshops that I will be sharing with your site advisors that I would like for you to complete prior to doing the application on the Black Common App. The deadline is February 15th, but we want to get these in as soon as possible because, as you know, with certain HBCU schools, the earlier that you apply, you'll be able to receive site grant, scholarships, and other type of perks for early apply. So the earlier you apply, the earlier you get your admissions decision. And if there are any black males on the call that you may know of, we learned this at Morehouse during the HBCU tour, that up until October 31st, which will be Monday, Morehouse is accepting free application processes. So any black male who's on the call that can apply to Morehouse, you can go to the Morehouse website, not through the Common App, but through the website, and you can apply for free. We've established a Morehouse Man Challenge, where we're challenging all the different BSU sites to see how many African American males or males of color that they can get to apply by October 31st. And I'll go on mute because we got a lot of noise in the background.
So, another awesome experience. We have some photos here from the HBCU tour where we're able to see some of the alumni students from the Antelope Valley, AV High School graduate alumni is, I think, it's Joseph Ramirez. He's now a student, and correct me if that last name is wrong, but he's a student at Morehouse College. And then we also have Kevin Cheney, that is a student at Tuskegee University, and Jeffrey Patterson, who is a student at Norfolk State University. So these are students that came through the Antelope Valley, male students that have applied and are thriving at HBCU. So we will definitely make sure the information that Mr. Patterson just shared is available on the website as well. For BSU seniors, you will have a code there that you can use to apply for free. Apply for the Black Common Application, Black College Common Application, as well as the dates for any early decision free applications to HBCUs. So seniors, we want to make sure that you know, if you want to have this time to come together to work on the Black Common App together, I know we have Ms. Como on the call and several advisors that are willing to support you in that. Seniors, if you're wanting to join that group, just to kind of talk about some of this, the link is in the chat. This is for seniors only. If you want to take some time now to join that meeting, it is open. You can talk about the Black Common App, and you can talk about how to get this going. And
okay,
then,
I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next meeting. Is that okay?
yes, of course. Thank you, Ms.
Okay.
So wait a minute. How many seniors are on the call? I see at least 3 that I'm aware of. Hands are going up. Okay, yes, please just take a moment to join that call with Mrs. Como. She is an incredible head advisor, counselor, counselor and BSU advisor, and she wants to support you in your process. So please go ahead and get on that call so that you all can discuss the applications. Okay, all right. All right, and then another hand just went up. Okay. Oh no, they're leaving. Okay, I'm sorry, they're leaving the meeting. So some quick reminders, because things are flowing right now. November 2nd and 3rd next week. That's Wednesday and Thursday of next week is the HBCU showcase. You can see the days and times that each site that's participating will be in attendance. And so wanted to make sure that you're aware that event is happening for seniors only next week. Now, if you are a junior, sophomore, or freshman and middle school, there will be an opportunity for you next semester to get some HBCU information that's just for you. But this event is for seniors, and that's happening next week. All right, we know our STEM Careers in Wakanda Forever is happening. That's happening the following week on Thursday. Our new times for that event are 5:30 to 8:45, and your advisor will have more information for you. But the schools that will be in attendance are here. We're such a big group that we're going to be in 2 auditoriums, so you can kind of see the second group has a little bit of a later start time, but it's only a few minutes, so we will all be there by 5:30, no later than 5:30 for the movie event. And if you have questions, please feel free to raise your hand or unmute. The next event for high school students is the Channel Islands African American Student Forum. We will be leaving from AV High School and Palmdale High School at 7 a.m. We want to be there by probably like 6:45 to get on buses. We are going to Channel Islands. I think it's in Channel Islands. What's the city for Channel Islands? It's going to be a little bit of a drive, and we don't want to get stuck in too much traffic, so we are leaving on time. Lunch will be provided for that event, and so we are looking forward to that. We talked about our senior breakout group, and so now let's get into the work of our topic for today, which is how to be a change agent using performance. So what we do with music, what we do with poetry, what we do with theater, what we do with writing. This is all a way for us to use our voice to create change wherever we are. So if you don't mind, and I'm going to do this with you, we're going to go to the activity for October 2022, and you'll see the different links on that page. So I'm doing it on my screen, at least I hope I am. All right. We have any Kendrick Lamar fans on the call? All right, at least a few people. Okay, good. So this is just a quick video to kind of get the conversation started. But it is Kendrick Lamar speaking on his album To Pimp a Butterfly, and kind of how he put together the artwork for it. You can always have a message or use your words to create a powerful statement for what you're passionate about. And so in the video, he's speaking to that. And the Padlet link is an opportunity for you to maybe give a song or a movie or just something that you experienced that you said, wow, this is powerful. This moved me. This made me feel something, right? It's a big part of using your voice to be able to have those experiences shared. So here's the video.
The future of blasters is here. X-Shot Skins.
Album covers. It's me and my homeboys in front of the White House. It's really taking, people from my neighborhood and taking them around the world and letting them see things that I've experienced.
Everybody in that picture is family, friends.
Yeah, it's one of the homies' kids, the people I grew up with since elementary, all the way up to now, so a lot of individuals that I talk about in Good Kid, Mad City it's on this cover. So it all spins around full circle when you really digest it.
And who's that laid out on the ground down there?
That's a judge laid out on the ground. You look at these individuals and, you look at them as bad people or a menace to society, but they're actually good people, just a product of their environment. And the one person that always represent their not lives negatively is the judge. Only God can judge these individuals right here, not no one with a gavel,
Love it. This video is also included on that activity. But go ahead, if you haven't already, take a look at the Padlet. We're going to let it continue. But what is a song, a movie, or a poem that you feel has a strong message? All right, particularly for the African American community, a song, a poem, a movie, a television show, something that you feel has a strong message. All right.
handing out football numbers of years and not giving these kids a chance at life. Every nigga's a star. It represents the album. It represents how I felt when I first got signed. Wesley's theory. That's the first initial state. You get money, you feel like this. But overall, in general, it represents those without money, of my color, that's rich in spirit. You don't need dollars to feel like you have a place in the world, as the album goes to 10, 11, 12 tracks. That's what it represents. The first half is a little bit ignorant, because that's how I was brought up. So as I see the world, it ain't really about the money, it's about how rich you are in spirit.
We got some ideas coming in. We have the help, the last days. Harriet, Woman King, Wade in the Water. I think I know who added that one. And Living for the City, Stevie Wonder, Hidden Figures, Color Purple. Beautiful. All right. Adding a couple of these to my playlist. Let's see. Zoe and Marcel, you have did you have a question or you still had your hand up from before? Okay, good. So as we are getting, thank you, as we are getting involved and starting to think about who we are, what we represent on our campuses, how positive that impact can be, right? We had Mr. Holly and Bishop Henry Hearns talk to us about the performance of Justice Sunday, right? And how we can use our talents to carry a strong message, all right? We did see the clip from Justice Sunday with Mr. Patterson and Jeffrey. I want to show just a little bit of that again, and I want you to, if you don't mind, we are going to get into some breakout groups in just a moment, but think about the message that the performance is carrying on survival, on culture, on hope, or on community. What do you pick up on from one of those topics? Survival, culture, hope, and community. All right. You feel free to get ready to add that to the chat or to unmute. We can talk about that.
Among the evergreens that stood on the off-avenue of earth and wood, where lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good.
Wow, Pops, look at those firemen. The fire scared the color right off their skin.
Those are white folks, son. White.
So they were born without color?
Now, boy, you hush up now. We don't want any problem with those people over there.
Why? Is it true?
I said hush up now.
Hey, Pops.
Yes, son.
Why isn't there anyone that looks like us fighting the fire?
Well, son, the Jim Crow laws that enforce racial segregation in the South made it tough for blacks to get jobs. That's why you haven't seen whites before. Being a firefighter, police officer, teacher, doctor, lawyer were not a real option.
I thought the world was equal. Turns out it's not what I expected. Why does the world not like us?
Son, have a seat. You see, son, the world's a complicated place. And people make it more complicated by their irrational biases. This is why you only have blacks in your class. And this is also the reason why we can't use the same water fountains, use the same restrooms, eat at the same restaurants. There's a thing called separate but equal, but ain't nothing equal about this separation. See, the government found a loophole that made that legal because technically it did not violate the 14th Amendment. But fortunately, there's a Supreme Court case, Brown versus the Board of Education in 1954, that made separate but equal unconstitutional.
So as you're thinking about the video and thinking about the message shared, give yourself about a minute to come up with an idea of what the message is, either on survival, culture, hope, or community. All right, and I'm going to add an idea as well. And you can certainly unmute if you want to speak about it as well. Is there anyone that wants to share before we get into our breakout groups? Nobody? Y'all are quiet. Okay, Manaya, thank you. Manaya said the community wasn't equal between blacks and whites. Black people were treated unequally by having to separate bathrooms and drinking fountains. For sure. For sure. Okay, Andrew said the message in the video is that the government used systemic racism, nicely done, to keep black people down and away from specific jobs. Yes, so racism and discrimination on every level. I'm not sure if any of the students or advisors on the call want to speak to the sit-in demonstration that was at the Museum of Human Rights, right, in Atlanta. But what that felt like, just to have blatant racism just in your face, right, at every turn, every obstacle that you experience was just horrifying. All right, and I said the video represents the sectionalism. Y'all are dropping this academic vocabulary. I love it. Between the white and black communities. And Marcel said jobs and flexibility were based on skin color, and black people were suppressed. Y'all are impressing me today, and unable to be free. Of course, this is fantastic reflection. I don't know if any of our advisors on the call want to speak to just any part of what the students are saying or the performance itself, which is phenomenal, but you're welcome to before we get into the breakouts.
Hi guys, it's Miss Childs. I just want to say that the students definitely have the right idea. I know that the performance definitely showed how unfair African Americans in America have been treated in the past. And I just want to encourage you guys to always remember that these people fought for their rights, and the opportunities that we have now as African Americans definitely still have a fight. But we are not going through the things that our ancestors did. And so I just want to encourage you to, in your walk, in your everyday walk, make sure that you're honoring them. Honor them with your behavior, honor them with getting a good education, doing well in school, because people literally died for you to have that opportunity.
Okay, can you all hear me? Absolutely, Mr. Charles, and I think that the encouragement is spot on. We know that this is decades later from the time that was represented in the performance, but a lot of the same struggles are still here, right? They're part of our walk, and so it's important for us to empower our own voices as much as possible to make change happen. So when you go into your breakout rooms, a few people I think have already joined, but there are 5 breakout rooms. So you have several different um, creators, right? Poets, uh, songwriters, artists, playwrights that you see on the list. You're going to take an opportunity to familiarize yourself with as many artists on this list as you can and have a conversation as a group, right? You can search on your phone or you can look on your computer, but something interesting that you find out about the person, about their work, about how they impacted society. That is what you're discussing in your breakout room. So you have 10 different people to choose from. You can choose any name from that list, and you're going to have a conversation about what their work meant to society or means to society. All right. So we'll come back in about 14 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. We'll come back before we close. All right.
Okay, what's going on? I just logged on.
Hi, Miss Hutchison. The meeting time was at 4, not 5.
Okay, but I had a difficulty logging in. I had to drive home and log in.
No, that's okay. Well, we just worked with seniors, so some of the seniors are coming back into the room. Shyla, if you want to join another breakout room that's in session, she's one of our seniors. You can go ahead and do that. Anita is a SOAR high school student. Do you want to jump into a breakout room, Anita? And Shyla, you can also jump into a breakout room, or do I need to assign you? Hold on, let me see. Thank you for coming, Miss Hutchison. We had a whole presentation from the Justice Sunday, which was amazing. So you missed Mr. Patterson's Justice Sunday performance, but it is recorded and will be added to the
Yeah,
BS.
Jeff Patterson performed.
Well, it's the one.
He was performing.
Not currently, but they showed his
old thing from the past.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's his past performance. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna see if I can get Shyla. Do you have access to jump into a breakout room, or do I need to assign you?
I think you need to assign
Okay,
me.
let me go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Anita, can you get to the breakout room? Okay, Shyla, you are in breakout room 1. You should be able to get in there. She left. Okay, good. Okay, Anita, I don't see you. Maybe you're asleep. I don't know. So, Shavella, do you want to join a breakout room?
What are we doing in the breakout rooms?
I have no idea because my breakout room, I don't know. I think
okay.
I want to make. I'm almost certain that they're planning for the
Justice Sunday, right?
Justice Sunday and or the
Knowledge Bowl?
No, the what's the holiday, Christmas type, whatever we're gonna
Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa. There you go, Kwanzaa celebration. So, would you like me to put you in a room?
Okay. I mean, okay, yeah, I'm in a room with y'all, but you guys are done now?
Well, we weren't discussing anything. Miss Jewel, are you there? I know Mr. Patterson is somewhere else at another event. So I think Mrs. Scoffrey might be at another event. I don't know who Devin Burden is.
He's the person at I don't know if he's at Lancaster, but he's at the virtual school. He might be at AV virtual. Hi, Mr. Burden.
Mr. Burden, I don't know what's happening. I think maybe they're here, but they're not here. Hi, Miss Pineda.
Hi there.
Hi, Miss Pineda.
I was done with the seniors. I just sent them to
put my
breakout
camera
room.
so you can see
That
me.
sounds good. Hey,
Hi.
and hi there. So, we are booked and busy right now with getting everything set up for the rest of the month, and the students were in the breakout rooms talking about the next virtual meeting, which they will be hosting. So November 30th is the day when all of our club officers and leaders are going to share how BSU has promoted unity, right, on the campuses and things that they're working on to make sure that people know that BSU benefits everybody. So they were kind of talking about some ideas with that. And then they've got an opportunity to show all of their gifts and talents at Justice Sunday. So, I mean, it's just, what can I say?
Well, that is amazing. The students that I spoke to that are seniors, just for an update, all 3 of them knew what they were doing. I did push them for November 1st. At AVC, the HBCU caravan will be there. Morehouse, well, Clark Atlanta, and Grambling, and I think one other school will be there, but they will be there and they can get on the spot applications and missions. So that
Okay.
ABC's campus from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay. All right. And then, okay, that's great. So this is going to be a HBCU week coming up. They got the showcase at night where they'll be doing, there's going to be some people there. And then they have the other stuff going on. This is HBCU week. Woo!
Well, you know what? We HBCUing it up for sure.
That's not just the HBCU trip and HBCU week, and I think we're gonna have some graduates head to HBCUs without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah. Okay.
so we are just gonna kind of take a moment. Uh, there was some great conversations. I was able to kind of jump into a few just about what it means to contribute, to use your voice in a way to make a difference, to make change, to empower yourself in your community. So, anybody that wants to share what you talked about in your group, please go ahead and feel free.
It was me and Mercury in Breakout Room 5, and we talked about Nikki Giovanni, and I researched some stuff on Thelonious Monk because he was a pianist, and I'm low-key, I'm kind of a pianist, and so he really interested me, and he was like a jazz pianist and composer. And for Nikki Giovanni, she she was a poet, yeah. She was a poet, writer, and activist, and she took a part in the civil rights movement, and she's still alive, so that's crazy.
She is. She's having courses taught about her. She's teaching courses. She's still using her gifts and talents. So Elizabeth is one of my strongest writers in my class. So I'm not surprised, Elizabeth, that you gravitated toward her talents. And I hope you find some good work that you're inspired by. Good. Anyone else? And Marcel said in the chat, we spoke about empowerment and courage from movies and historical figures. I know when I jumped in your group, you all were talking about the help and the message that the movie The Help brings to audiences. Good. Anybody else? Naya said we also spoke about Maya Angelou and what she did for the community. Yes.
In my group, we were talking about different things, and the film Hidden Figures came up, and I just made the comment about like we love Hidden Figures, but that shouldn't be the go-to, right? It seems like other people seem like, oh, that's the movie, that's the go-to, that's the go-to. We really need to widen the selections and let other people know that there are other things that are out there that are just as powerful. We love Hidden Figures, but we can't be watching it every year because that's the only movie that you know.
I agree with that completely, Mrs. Dawes. We are individuals, right, within our culture, and we have different interests, different backgrounds, different faiths, different identities. Some of us speak different languages, different nationalities. We are across the whole diaspora, right? So it's important to tell your stories as truthfully as possible and share your voice as much as you can because all of our experiences together, it's a beautiful, beautiful what's the word I'm looking for? Mosaic, right? That comes together. Elizabeth said 12 Years a Slave is another option. Marcel said the show Them. Mercury said Nikki Giovanni was considered the poet of the Black Revolution. Absolutely. And there is, I think I missed a step here, so I do apologize. Thinking about your campus and your school and the different issues that students face, would there be an issue that you would want to bring attention to through performance? Maybe your school's BSU, you host a spoken word, or you create posters, or you have a short skit demonstration, right? The sky is truly the limit. What is a message that you would want to share with a larger audience about an issue that you think impacts students? I want to give you a link to put some ideas there, but also if you all want to share any of those, you can. Mercury, what's an issue or what's something that you're thinking about that might impact students?
I was gonna say like some personal topics being like colorism and texturism, or like the use of like law enforcement in the school. But my fear is that like our BSU's not so established like yet. We're still getting there. So I feel like I don't know if people are gonna participate as much as like I would want, or if people would even take it seriously, you know? So I don't know how to like get that across. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I have something that I would want to say to that, but if any students, if you want to share any ideas to what Mercury just expressed, because it is frustrating if you put a lot of effort into sharing a message, you want to have it impact the big audience, or have the biggest impact that it can. Miss Como asked in the chat, Mercury, what school are you from? So Mercury is the president of BSU at Lancaster. And not every BSU, some of us are just kind of getting organized. Some of us have been established for a couple of years on our campus. And so that might make a difference. I was thinking, Mercury, that if you all use social media, maybe it's only one person or two people that share a message through social media, but then you push it out and promote it as much as you can with the campus, maybe through like a QR code, have people get onto your Instagram and they can see that message. But yeah, it does take more than a few people or one or two people that can share a message as long as it's powerful, right? And Mr. Burden said, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness, what a powerful film. So no, I don't think anyone mentioned Judas and the Black Messiah, but also extremely powerful film with a message about the Black Panthers, right? Fred Hampton, very young man that was able to use his voice to impact a lot of people in the community. Definitely. Ms. Como's idea is great. Mercury, just asking people, maybe do a survey. What do you think people want to hear about or learn about, and maybe go from there as a starting point. All right, Ms. Como, was that for this meeting, or were you sharing that with Mercury?
I'm sorry, that's to Mercury.
Definitely. I will share with you all something that I think would be an important message on our campus. So recently, the freshman class was impacted by some different things that had happened, and people were kind of like, okay, well, the freshmen may have done it, the freshmen. And so just thinking about how that impacts them, because they're just getting started in high school, right? And want to make sure that they have a good brand and a good representation for themselves, a good reputation, I should say. Maybe they could put out some information about, well, here, this might be one or two people, but it's not all of us, right? If they want to share something in regards to that, that would be an important message. Good, 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 good. So I think I had even added that. Let's see. And it's good that we have a shared space, because the idea to do something with a powerful message on your campus, that might be an issue on several campuses, right? So if we have this space, we can kind of share some ideas together and kind of grow from there, and definitely staying connected on social media if we can, so we can see what's happening on the campuses. I'm going to ask, because I think a few of the officers are here. If you don't mind dropping your social media, if you can, sharing that with us so we know what's happening on your campuses. If you have something that you want to share to the rest of the district BSUs, that would be really helpful. I'll put in the chat the SOAR BSU. And so if you would like to follow SOAR BSU, you are able. All right, anything else? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Rodney.
Oh, while I'm talking to you, I don't have, so I don't have to send you an email. Do you have a head count on how many students are coming to the showcase, Miss Pineda, from your school?
Yes, Ms. Hutchinson. So right now, I think there are 5, but there are a few that didn't stop by. They had college class, so I want to touch base with them and make sure that I don't count them out, but no more than 7.
Okay, all right. I'll plan for your 7 then, and you as well, right? I'm smiling.
I will be there for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me close my camera because I got my pajamas on.
Oh,
I'm tired.
it's a lot. It's a lot. No, I understand completely. Thank you for that. So I've got some different social media. We got some social media accounts here as we're kind of moving toward hopefully the Justice Sunday work that you students will do, as well as any other performance, poetry, rap, dance, theater, writing. There is no limit to what we can do as artists with our voice. And so I'm hoping that you all stay connected that way. On November 30th, we'll have the BSU leaders kind of sharing what your BSU team has done this year, big or small. We know it's making a big impact. And we wanted to share some different photos. Let me see if I can, might be a little some different photos that have been added to our website. We are so impressed with you young people and all that you are able to put together for your schools, for your communities. And we are hoping that you just stay encouraged. You are making a difference.
I love all of this. Thank you for putting it all together, Ms. Pineda.
I am glad just to be in the building, Mrs. Dawes. I'm telling you. I think these are the future presidents, congressmen, women, people.
Mm-hmm.
I can't brag on you all enough. So I'm just happy to be a part of what you all are doing.
It's very exciting seeing it all.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to students who've already graduated. They're like, where was that when I was in school?
Where was it when I was in school? I think we might have had half of maybe 1 or 2 people that were talking about it, and you all are doing it, right? Don't speak about it, be about it. You all are doing it. Okay. All right, let me see here. We can kind of close out maybe a few minutes early if there are no other questions. But thank you. Thank you for taking the time. And we are going to calendar a second meeting just this month, just for the BSU leaders, student leaders, so that you all can kind of come together and maybe share some ideas for what you want to do on November 30th. That's right after Thanksgiving break, and we know that a lot of things are happening, so we want to make sure you all have the time as well to come up with some some good stuff, some good ideas. All right. All right. Thank you guys. You are welcome, sweetheart. Y'all have a good evening.
All right, thank you. Be safe, everyone.
Yeah,
Good night,
thank you, Miss
everybody.
Creator.
Wait. People leave it. Hold on. Before we get, if y'all can unmute, because we started doing this at the football game and it's picking up. I don't think Miss Harrison is here. When I say BS, you say you. BS.
You.
Hey. Okay, we're gonna do another one. We're gonna do another one real quick. People are leaving. Look. Okay, wait. Can somebody turn their camera on that knows it? BS. Come on, Elizabeth. Don't leave me by myself now. Okay, one more time. When I say BS, you say you. BS.
You.
Okay. Now the other one is this. If you can turn your camera on, it goes BS you. You know. Who can do that one?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
BS you. You know. Okay. BS you. You know. It's on dog. Okay, Elijah. BS you. You know. Oh,
Hold on. 1, 2, 3.
BS you.
You know.
Come on, Keisha.
Okay, BSU. You know.
Oh, wait.
You supposed to put your hands up so we can see you.
You can't see this right here. I'm getting my hair done.
Oh, Zoe.
Wait. The kids said we're doing it too slow and they have to do it because they said we're doing it too slow. Okay.
Good night.
You have to turn your camera on to do it. If we're doing it too slow, we're doing it the wrong way.
Okay. BSU. You know. Is that it? Okay, we older, okay?
Well, the kids know how to do it. We need Miss Judy in here. She know how to do it. Where East Side at?
East Side.
Yeah, Miss Judy.
Wait.
She gone, I guess. All right.
Okay.
Well, you know. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay.
Good night, all. Good night, all. Good night.
Elizabeth, can you please show us how this goes? Are you in class? She might be in class. Okay. That's official. We're going to work on it. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
We see you, Sore Prep. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. All right. Y'all have a good one.